Chimako Sandu reporting for MMAJunkie.com and USA Today, standing alongside arguably the biggest pro wrestling fan in the UFC, UFC light heavyweight Daniel Cormier. Daniel, this must be Christmas come early for you.
Oh man, it's awesome. You know, getting to listen to Jim Ross talk about old stories and everything, then going from here to the Hall of Fame, and then, you know, tomorrow WrestleMania with me and my kid and all my friends. It's a big deal, man. I got people that flew into town, and I made sure that with the tickets that I got, one of my buddies is actually in the WWE. He gave me 6 tickets, and I made sure with the 6 tickets I got lifelong fans to go with me, and these are my guys.
Well, we are obviously talking about WrestleMania. It's come to San Jose. Is this your first WrestleMania?
First WrestleMania, and that's why it's so special. You know, it's like as a kid, me and my cousin Terry, we would actually rent videos from Blockbuster months after the event, and we would watch it as if we were watching it live, you know, and the chance to actually get to go was too great to pass up, you know. So I called Zach, you know, my buddy Zach. We worked together, and he had no intention on coming. He was going to have a weekend off from his job, and he was going to stay at home. And I said, dude, it's WrestleMania. And after asking his boss, his fiance, she allowed him to go. And dude flew in from Vegas to come in and go to WrestleMania, because for a person that likes wrestling, a person that's actually watched it since a kid, the chance to go to WrestleMania is once in a lifetime.
How are all the guys in AKA taking this? How they
think it's crazy. Rocco actually turned down tickets. I said, Rocco, do you want to go? He's like, nope, I'm not going. Another one of my friends came in from San Diego, and yesterday he was at the gym, and he was talking to Kane and Kane's wife. And he said, I'm heading down to Gilroy. They go, oh, what are you doing here? He's like, well, I'm going to WrestleMania. And they said he was going to Gilroy, and he goes, wait. You're going with Daniel, aren't you? And he's like, yeah, I'm going with Daniel. So everybody knows that if anyone's going to WrestleMania this weekend, it has something to do with me. So,
well, it's been a massive week in the world of MMA, some of it impacting the WWE and WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Want to get your take. Brock Lesnar just signed a brand new multi-year deal extension with the WWE. What was your initial reaction when you heard that?
Well, any guy that's ever fought at heavyweight or fought around heavyweight, the idea of Brock Lesnar coming back to your checkbook is like Christmas, because you want to actually be the guy that gets to fight Brock Lesnar. But you know what, man? I think Brock actually made the best decision for himself and for his family. He does this at a level that no one else can. He's as good as a professional wrestler as I've seen in a long time. So this is where he belongs, man. He's a great professional wrestler. He's a great performer, as he was an unbelievable fighter, you know. So wanting to watch Brock as a fan was kind of selfish, because he was so good and he wasn't healthy. So the chance to get to see him healthy was intriguing. But I think for Brock Lesnar and his family and his kids, this is the best decision.
Before he made his decision, UFC fighter versus pro wrestling fan, where did you want to see Brock Lesnar?
As a fan, I wanted to see him fight. You know, because if he's healthy, the chance to get to see him compete healthy was a lot, you know, and I wanted to see that. But also as a fan, you know, I like watching him in the ring. You know, he does a great job. He's a great performer. So, you know, either way was going to be good for me. But just the chance to see Brock doing something means a lot.
Well, of course, he has signed a new deal with the WWE. Shifting sides a little bit, Lorenzo Fertitta made, at the 11th hour, a phone call to Brock Lesnar, which he divulged in the ESPN interview. What did you make of that? I mean,
well, I figured they would try to get him.
Right.
You know, Brock's a humongous draw, so you get Brock Lesnar back in the fold, you have to make an attempt. And when Brock says that Lorenzo gave him a great offer, just know that a guy on the inside, when they give you a great offer, it is a great offer. I'm pretty sure it was very substantial. And for him to turn it away says that Vince must have really opened that checkbook. So Brock Lesnar is going to be okay for the rest of his life after this contract.
I'm sure he will be. Sticking on the WWE UFC crossover at the moment, obviously later on this year, CM Punk will be making his debut for the UFC. He recently made the walkout to the Octagon with the Showtime camp in terms of the cornermen. You've made that walk both as a cornerman and as a fighter. What do you think that gave him in terms of an experience?
Well, he experienced it. You know, nothing more than that. He didn't fight with Anthony, but he was there, and he was actually there when Anthony didn't have his best fight. You know, obviously he lost. So he experienced it in that sense. You know, he experienced adversity in the corner. He didn't go in there and see Anthony run through a guy as he did in December with Melendez. He actually had to see Anthony go through the bad part of mixed martial arts. So, but that's it. Inexperience. You can't really draw much from that. When Phil, his name's Phil, when Phil steps into the octagon, it'll be his experience. It'll be completely different from Anthony, and that's going to be telling. Now, everybody talks about what can CM Punk do, what can Phil do in the UFC. I think that's all based on expectation. What do you expect from him as he steps inside of the octagon? For me, my expectation is realistic. So when he goes in there and he fights, if he does well and he wins, that'll be enough for me. I don't expect him to go in and have the success he had in the WWE. You know, so I think it's based on expectation. What do you expect him to do in the UFC? I think we have to be realistic.
You know, it's so intriguing because everyone thinks that CM Punk's debut will be on par with what Brock Lesnar did when he made his debut, and they're thinking about, you know, potential breaking pay-per-view record numbers and all sorts. How do you think he'll do on pay-per-view for the UFC?
I think he'll do well. He's a big-time star. He's got a great following, and I think he'll do fine. His first fight will be somewhere very high on the card, you know, main card, co-main event, so it's a big deal.
Okay, well, we've got a few minutes left. I know that you want to get to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, well, I got to go because the crowd's getting let out. My car's at the very back. I'm going to get stuck in the parking lot.
I can't let you go without talking about the biggest thing happening in the UFC right now.
My fight, Ryan Bader, right? The biggest thing to me. You know,
the biggest thing to you, but the biggest thing in the UFC right now is Aldo McGregor. This world tour is unbelievable. Record-breaking numbers on Embedded, record-breaking numbers in terms of the gate.
It's sold out.
Exactly. It's 7 million gate in the US. Tell me how you've taken this whole Embedded series. Do you think McGregor has got under Aldo's skin?
I think McGregor's actually doing a fantastic job of selling this fight. He does it every time. He makes people take notice. He's done a phenomenal job. But the problem is you have to go out there and fight Jose Aldo and then upset Jose Aldo. It's going to be tough. I mean, this is a tough proposition for anyone. Conor seems to be up to it. The gate represents how big an event this is. And you know what? I'm excited. I'm excited, man. I'm very excited for this fight. I love how Aldo's changing over the course of time. I like seeing that he's getting like, I'm done with this. I'm ready to fight this guy. Let me go train and get ready to defend my championship.
UFC analyst Daniel Cormier, give me a prediction. Jose Aldo or Conor McGregor?
You know what, man? In the beginning, I said there's no way Jose Aldo loses this fight. But the more I watch him, the more I look at the matchup, the more I think this is way more even than anyone would have anticipated. Conor McGregor is a handful for everybody. And matchup-wise, this is the best that he could have asked for in terms of a title shot. With that being said, hard to pick against the champ. I'm going to reserve my pick for Fox Sports 1 where I work at. You guys can watch Fox Sports 1 to get my pick on the McGregor-Aldo fight.
He's Daniel Cormier. We're in San Jose for WrestleMania weekend. My name is Chamat Kasandu, and you're watching MMAJunkie.com USA Today.